Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, distinguished viewers across the world. You are welcome to Njenje Media Global Town Hall Series, Meet the Candidates. Tonight, we turn our focus to Anambra State. As the 2025 governorship election draws near, this is not just another political conversation. It is part of our continuing effort to deepen civic engagement and ensure that Anambra, everywhere from Oka to Atlanta to New Delhi and London, have a direct access to those who seek to govern them. Our topic today is Anambra Decides 2025, the governorship context. Meet your candidates. We will be speaking with candidates who have stepped forward to offer themselves for service, to share their visions, policies, and roadmap that they believe can move Anambra State from promise to performance. Today, I have the privilege of having Mr. Chika Jerry Okeke, the governorship candidate of the Boot Party, a businessman, a reform-minded politician with a focus on citizens-led development. Mr. Jerry Okeke, you're welcome to this conversation.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Welcome, the viewers.
Thank you very much. So we have other candidates that we will be announcing the moment that they join us. Two of them originally confirmed to join us, but we are still expecting them the moment they join. We will be, bringing them to join you in this conversation. But without wasting any time, again, our goal tonight is very simple. It is to have an honest, idea-driven conversation that will help Ndi Anambra make an informed choices. I am your host. My name is Mazi Ezoke. I am the CEO of Njenje Media Group. And with me, I have a co-host who is also having another program that is running simultaneously and will be joining us afterwards, a celebrated journalist and a social commentator in the person of Rudolph Ogo Okonkwo. Now, let me start with you. Many people may not have known you. Many may not have seen you, especially the Anambra global audience. Even for those who may have seen you and those who may probably have read some of the books that you have written. Who is Chika Jerry Okeke?
Okay, thank you. My name is Okeke Chika Jerry. I am from Ezinifite in Agwata local government area for Anambra State. I had my primary and secondary education in my village, where I stayed with my father, who was the retired headmaster then. Then I went to IMT Enugu, where I studied civil engineering. From there, I moved to Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, where I studied geological science and mining. After which I studied other courses. While doing all those courses, I opened my publishing company in Onitsha, Anambra State, because then I have started writing books. So I started publishing my books and publishing other authors' books, making many people authors, especially young ones who don't have money, publish their books. My books took me to everywhere in Anambra State because my books are being recommended by the state government up to today. And also, more than 20 states in Nigeria are using my books. So it has taken me to so many places, more especially Anambra State. There's no community in Anambra where I have not gone to, while supplying my books to schools for academic exercises. Then later, I opened my own private school which I named Okeke, which I named Chikajeri College in Onitsha. Also attached to that college is nursery and primary school, which I'm running successfully. I also have a table water industry and also a supermarket. So as you can see, I've been in Anambra here, staying with Anambra people, and also employing Anambra people. And I want to be the governor of Anambra State.
That's an excellent one. You are in Anambra. You have your businesses in Anambra more than those who probably are trying to govern Anambra from afar. That's a very good introduction. Now, I would then come to your vision and leadership, and I'll ask, what inspired you to run for the office of the governorship of Anambra State in 2025, and what distinguishes you, or rather your candidacy, from others in the race? Now, if my memory serves me right, I think this is the third or the fourth time that you're running for this seat. What is that thing, that the burning desire that you have in you, that will make you keep coming back every single electoral cycle wanting to be the governor of this state?
Okay. This is my third time appearing on the ballot paper, though from two different parties. The first party was Action Alliance. That was 2013. Then I entered to run under both party, which I'm still in now. And now that I'll be running for governor alone, I've also run for House of Assembly, both in Aguata 2 and Onitsha 2. Both not successful because everybody wants to vote Apuga. Not that I can't win the election, but because of the mentality of our people that it must be Apuga. And to be in Apuga, it's not all that easy because a lot of people that are there will not allow new entrants to get the tickets. And also the money to settle the delegates in order to win the tickets. It's not easy to be in a big party in Nigeria because all these old men have hijacked everywhere. So that's the reason why I use smaller parties trying to come into government. I want to be in government to help the poor masses because I grew up with the poor people. My father was a poor person, and because of poverty, most of my brothers were not able to go to high university. My father made it clear to all of us that anybody who gets up to SS3, you would not have money to sponsor that person any further. That after SS3, after Yawake, you go and do business. But I said, no, I don't want to do business. I want to continue my education. So I paid my school fees all through universities. My father did not pay that. In fact, my first year, my father died. This year, Unizik, my father died. So I trained myself in school, and education empowered me a lot. So, and through education, I'll be eating because if you don't go to school, you will not be writing. So, and my books are excellent. Governments are recommending my books to show write very well. Now, I scaled through poverty, and I'm able to have my own business, have my investments because I went to school. I am employing a lot of people who are working for me as teachers in my private schools, those who are working for me as sales girls in my supermarkets, who are working for me in my pure water industry, and also in my publishing company, marketers who supply my books to schools. So I was able to succeed, but there are so many other people who are unable to succeed. And the reason why they don't want to, the reason why they don't succeed is because of poor governance, poor leadership. Our leaders don't care about our youth. They don't take care of them. Somebody will graduate from university and start riding Okada, riding keke. The ladies will be selling fruits and vegetables on the streets. This is not the reason why they went to university. So there were a lot of money coming from Abuja as federal allocation. It's not used to take care of the youth. And that's why you see so many youths going into ritual killing, going into Yahoo, going into hookups. And most of them are going into banditry. Some are going into kidnapping because idle brain is Devil's workshop. Elderly men have occupied all the offices in government. And the youths are used as stocks, ballot box snatching, election riggers. That is not why we are Anambrarians. We are not an Anambrarian youth. We are not used in Anambra State to be carrying ballot boxes or being working as Agboro. Want to be in offices. So far, I've been trying my best. I don't have any supporter, simply because I'm not running under a big party. Not remembering that it was under Apuga that P2B came into power. Apuga was an unknown party, and the PDP was tormenting Anambra State. Then under P2B used Apuga to come into government. People voted Apuga. So I want people to also vote both party, just like they voted Apuga, so that we can liberate ourselves from the hands of all these cabals who call themselves politicians. And under any party, they are running the government from. So I am coming into government because dividend of democracy doesn't get to the poor, which I was one of them. So I was able to scale through. There are so many others that are trapped. I want to be in government to help them because I'm here. I'm living among the poor. I know what they pass through. I know how they suffer, and I know how best way to help them. Being the son of the soil, who has lived in Anambra here for long, and I've been youth leader, both in school as a student union leader and in churches. I know how to take care of the youth. If I become the governor of Anambra State, then security will be a thing of the past. I don't move about with security because I am not the enemies of the youth. They know that I'm not among those who are suffering them, who make them to pass through hardship. They know that I helped them when they were in school. I helped them a lot by giving them my books, from which they learned a lot. So I'm a lover of the youth. And if I become the governor, there will be jubilation in Anambra State. And that will give them hope that one day they will be in government. So I want to be in government to save the poor. That's why I'm running for the governor.
Okay. Now, you while you were speaking, you talked about not, um, acknowledging that you are in a smaller party now, and you wanted to compare yourself to Peter Obi when he ran with APGA. And Peter Obi, when he ran with APGA, had humongous resources to, be able to pursue that election to a logical conclusion. In this case, the party, and there were heavyweights behind that party, it made sense. But now, would you say that it would probably have made more sense for you to join a larger party where there will be existing structure than you starting from ground up? I do not know in the Nigerian political terrain what is called the war chest. I do not know how large your war chest is to be able to build these structures from ground up, because in bigger parties these structures are there, be it in PDP, APGA, Labour Party or whatever. These structures are there. Don't you think that it's going to be an uphill task for any individual who doesn't have the requisite war chest to make it from a small party?
Okay, thank you for the question. It's the choice for Anambra State to make, because what we need is good governance. And I know I will give Anambra what they need. But I am making efforts from my own side as a person under the platform which I know I can get, because I know I don't have the funds to get the tickets to run under all those big parties that are occupied by those cabals who don't mean well for Anambrarians. I keep on saying it because if they mean well for Anambrarians, they cannot see the poor suffering and they're wasting money on other irrelevant things. So if Anambra people want me to be in government, either they assist me in my small party, because you made it clear here that P2P was backed by a lot of people under Apoga, and they were able to deliver P2P. Now, if the Anambra people want me to help Anambrarians, especially the youth, who are the problems we have in Anambra now that are causing insecurity, if Anambra wants Anambra to be sanitized, let them join forces with me in my small party, provide funds, and make me the governor of Anambra State. If they don't want me to run under a small party, they want me to run under big parties. It's good. They can equally make a way for me in those big parties, because I know I cannot do that alone. So in either ways, either being a small party to win election or to be in big party, I need the support of Anambrarians. That's what I need. Now, but let us know that when you are in a big party, like Apoga or APC, or there are so many cabals that are already there. Do you think it will be easy to force them to do what is right? That's the question. To avoid saying that Chikajeri promised us good governance. Now, look at what is happening now. Because there are owners of the party. Do you think they allow us to give our Anambrarians good governance? We have to think about that. If they won't allow us, because I don't want to mess up my life because I want to be governor. No. Rather, I will be a simple man like I am, walking around the street without any security man. But if I join Apoga or APC and become the governor under any of these two big parties, and I don't do well, there will be a problem for me. And I don't want to fail my people. Now, the only solution we have in Nigeria today is to vote out all these cabals. Vote them out completely by using a small party, just like we were able to remove them from government during P2P. And P2P was able to settle down and do his work. He has all the full powers to work as Anambra State governor. And he did well. Because there were no other politicians that are bigger than him in rank in that party. But if you put me under the cabals, who will be telling me what to do, I don't think they will allow me to work. Okay. Look at our brother Gige. I was told, I heard that he was taken to Arosi Okija, where they stripped him naked to swear of whatever they agreed upon. I don't want to be such governor.
Okay, I mean,
just make a decision. Either to support me in my small party, or to give me a platform and they back me up and give me full support to give Anambra State good governance.
Okay,
that's what I.
Okay, so let me rephrase again and come back to this. Again, if you are elected the governor of this state, what would you say is your top priority for Anambra within your first 12 months in office?
My first priority is to make Anambra people smile and put smiles on the face of Anambra.
How would you do that?
Announcements.
How would you do that? Are you going to go and pour powder in their faces?
Putting smiles on the faces of Anambrarians. Number one, we have to increase the minimum wage of civil servants so that the money will be circulated among the people to 120,000 naira.
Have you worked it out how you're going to fund it?
How I will go to how I will fund it.
Have you worked it out how the affordability mechanism?
That is why it's good to vote a small party. Because once you vote a small party, number one, we have not spent money sharing to people in campaign. We have not spent any money. Just my little personal money I have spent. Then again, all those big men that are cabals in big parties, you know, once they are not in my party, if federal allocation comes to Anambra, I am not going to share the money with so many of the cabals. So you can see we are saving a lot. Now, all the political appointees, we are going to cut down their salaries by 50%, starting from my own. We are saving money in that direction.
How much
All the
no, sorry, you know,
of government.
it is my duty to probe some of these, some of these assertions you're making. What is the salary of Anambra State or of a governor?
Well, I've not been a governor before.
Exactly.
And
so
I don't
no,
want to know
hold on. If
I'm not going there because of the salary of a governor.
I
don't
know.
have interest in knowing what his governor is taking. But all I know is that we are going to take care of the poor first. Whatever salary anybody is taking, we are going to cut down the cost, the price, their money.
No,
and the security votes.
Sorry, but
security votes the governor is spending will be used to pay salaries to workers.
That doesn't, in my view, smack me as something that is being well thought out, because if you don't know the salary of a governor, let's, for argument's sake, the governor takes every month 500,000, and that is all expense included. Then a commissioner takes 250,000. Then you slash it into two, it becomes 125,000. So it's either your government is done by volunteerism or that nobody is going to be willing to serve with you. Because for people not to be corrupt, their basic need, not to enrich themselves, likewise you, not to go and enrich yourself, but at least your basic need that you should be able to afford water to drink, afford food, and your kids go to school, and that you should be able to even pay NEPA bill. So those basic needs, if that salary is not enough, that means you may have to end up with people that will then begin to look into the pot of the state to see how they can commingle resources. Don't you think so?
Okay, when you look at our governors today, do you think that they are collecting 500,000 naira salary monthly? That's the number one question. They are not. All those monies they are collecting illegally. That's what I'm talking about. And again, anybody who is coming to serve under my government, we are going to agree together we are coming to save the poor. We are not going to be given an appointment by force. We are not going to be given an appointment because I want to settle you. We are being given an appointment for us to join hands to save Anambra State. So we're going to save a lot of money that are being wasted by the present administration. Then again, once you sanitize the system, a lot of billionaires, Anambra State is the home of billionaires. They need secured place for them to live. Once Anambra State is safe, because I know if a youth becomes the governor of Anambra, there is no youth that will fight the government, because that's what most of them are fighting. Most of them are causing the insecurity in Nigeria, not only in Anambra, simply because all these old men continue to stay in power. They don't want to leave.
Do you have
That's why so many youth are not happy.
Do you have issue with
if
old
you
men?
allow the youth to come on board, I think there will be sanity, there will be peace.
Do you have issue
and the
with
ones
old
you keep
men?
the
Because
youth
this is
busy
the
by giving them appointment and employing them, they will not fight the government. But these cabals are not giving the youth job. They are siphoning our money, carrying our money, taking the money abroad. They don't have any business in Anambra here. No office, no project, no personal office, no personal business in Anambra. When they embezzle our money, they take it to Europe and America and dump it there. Even if I don't really understand why people vote those who are not living in Anambra State, who are not investing in Anambra. Okay, to be investing in his business in Anambra here. And people are getting jobs there. Anambra State gets shares there. But so many other governors, they don't have any office, they don't have any investment, any money they siphon. All these contracts that they are awarding, When somebody awards a contract of 100 million, he will write 500 million. 400 million, where does the money go? Secretly, they have put it into their personal account. Keep on telling us they're building this road, building this road. They're building this road. How much are you siphoning? That's the question. That's why they don't want to go into social issues, taking care of the poor, because they will not make money there.
Okay, we need to.
They don't want to help people. They want to build road, build flyover, so that they will siphon money. So if I become the governor, I will save a lot of money and use that money to take care of the poor.
Okay.
And the poor should not pay tax.
Okay.
Rich men are not paying tax in Anambra.
Okay.
Because most of them have run away from the state. It's only the poor. How can you use Okada money and the Keke money to build Anambra to be like Dubai? Was Dubai built by government alone? Dubai was built by so many businessmen who on their own built their own investments. But Anambra State want to use Anambra poor people's money to build Anambra to be Dubai. Suffering the poor is not good. Look at the way they are putting down the houses of people. They were building roads without giving them enough compensation, giving them enough time to relocate. You pull down people's business, impoverishing the poor because you want the rich to drive on the double lane. No, those things are not good.
Mr. Keke, I asked you, I gave you a blank check, and I asked you what would be your priority if elected as governor of the state. You started by saying that you're going to, increase salary by to 120,000. You didn't mention if you're going to, how you're going to generate extra money or how that money is going to come about. All you said was you're going to save, right? You're going to slash salary by 50.
Coming to that.
Hold on. We're going to slash salary by 50.
You asked me how. That was why I narrated.
Okay.
Other areas is this. We can generate money through agriculture.
Okay. No, that's on that's on revenue generation. But the question was point blank. In 12 months, you come in Anambra State, it is the way it is today. Well, let's say in the first 3 months, what is it that you are going to do? You said you're going to make Anambra people smile. I say, how? Before you went into that. No. In all this, I have not heard you say anything you're going to do in terms of security, which you know, and everybody from Anambra knows that is our greatest undoing as we speak. That many people can no longer come home, even if when they come home, they move around with keke, right? I know you say you don't move around with security. Of course, fine and good, you do not move around with security. But I can also, hazard a guess that you might also sometimes hide. You're not going to be showing yourself too much in the open. And, you in order for you to stay safe, right? So the point blank question to you now is, understanding where we are today, that the security of lives and property in Anambra State became so precarious to a point that we have to form Anambra State, there was an Anambra State law on security vigilantism. Then there is the Udogachi Agune Chamber of, a joint security task force. Understanding that this is what is in the state, in order to tackle the menace of kidnapping and the level of insecurity in the state. If Anambra will say, okay, having listened to Mr. Okeke, he is the best candidate that we will vote for the position of governor in Anambra State, how would you tackle insecurity? Thank you.
I think I'll say this a time without number. If you want to tackle insecurity in Anambra, we should first of all drop the gun. You can't use fire to quench fire. Soludo has tried it for almost 4 years without achieving any results. My dear, if you are killing these people, new ones are being recruited. Even if they're not recruited, new ones are joining the security group. From every angle, telling you that that's not the best option. My dear, the problem in Nigeria and Anambra in particular is that youths are not involved in governance. Youths are kept idle. Idle brain is devil's workshop. That's why you see them doing Yahoo, doing ritual killing, doing hookups. They are not included. You know, once you start including the youth, employing them, giving them jobs, when allocation comes from Abuja, you budget 1 billion for youth. 1 billion is in my manifesto. That's 1 billion. Every month, you select some youth and empower them, those who have handwork, those who have business they are doing. You give them at least 1 million. 1 million. And give them somebody that will be supervising them. They will put that 1 million naira in their business. And we're going to build industrial parks where we're going to give those youths 1 year free rent. They will not pay any rent for 1 year. They will give them 1 million, empower them in that business. Another 1 month, you budget another 1 billion for another set of youths from one local government to another local government, starting from those local government like Iyala, Nnewi South, Ogbaro, those areas where insecurity is too much, Orumba South, get some youths there. I know how to get to those youths. I move around. You said that I use Jaguar. I don't do Jaguar. I went to Achala today. I was in an open market in Achala, and I was talking to the people, and they were coming there to thank me, you know, praising me that this is exactly what candidates should be doing, not carrying soldiers, not carrying police to come. Now, if you empower these youths, they will know that government is taking care of them. Now, it is now left for those youths to start defending the government. It's because we don't take care of the youths. The youths are no longer defending the apparatus of the government. They allow the bandits to fight the government. If you start helping them, they're going to be your soldiers in all those villages. Anything you do against the government, they will be the one that will tackle you. Because money is entering into their hands and you're taking care of them. Now, our education sector, help these youth to get admission in higher institutions. So many students are frustrated because they don't easily get admission. And most of them are not trained well in school. We're going to take care of education, pay teachers very well. Now, pay WAEC and NECO fee free of charge. Now, when they graduate, when they come out of secondary school, those who have skills will no longer go to higher institution. We are going to put them in industry, in an area where we will train them and empower them. Those that are educated will be sent to university, where their tuition fee will be cut down. When you are doing this, people will be smiling, people will be happy. You don't need to move around with security as a governor. That money you are wasting in security, use it to take care of the youth. Do you know how much they pay to soldiers and the army, soldiers and police who are moving around the states? It's a waste of money. That's what I'm telling you. As a governor, I would not shoot a bullet. I'm telling you. And I will make Anambra to be safe.
Okay.
And you have to empower the farmers. There are so many youths who want to farm. Give them money, give them loan. Let them go and farm. I met some people in Achala today. They were telling me they are farmers, they don't have money. They don't have money to buy seedlings. If you give these people money, they will produce a lot of food. Hunger will go. And there will be security.
Okay. Let me piggyback on what you said. On security, you said the first thing you will do is to drop the guns. And when you talked about dropping the guns, it means from the government side to drop the guns. That means you're going to adopt a non-kinetic approach. Okay.
Exactly.
So now, yeah, I'm coming. But the question is, that proposition has been done by the governor of the state when he said, everybody in the bush, come out. You know, we're going to forgive all of you if you come out, right? And we're going to find you a work. We're going to train you. We're going to empower you. That's the same thing you're saying. Now, on the event that people are in the bush, you say, we are dropping the gun. We do not want to harm you. And they say, you there, if we get you, we'll deal with you. That is their job. They are not willing to negotiate with you. They are not willing to drop their guns. You, as the governor of the state, what are you going to do to ensure that your state is secured?
What I'm trying to tell you is that you didn't understand me. You are not going to go after those that are in the bush. First of all, go after those who are not yet in the bush. They say that prevention is better than cure. When you go after those who are not yet in the bush,
but you can chew, you can, well, you can walk
them
while you chew gum. I mean, why, why do we have to separate them? You can segment them and deal with them, simultaneously, can't you?
Okay, let me tell you one thing. One of the causes of insecurity in Nigeria is because of election rigging. Not people you vote for win election. It's one of the reasons why there is insecurity, especially here in Eastern Nigeria. Somebody will not win an election and the person will be declared the winner. Now the anger is in the people. And because the anger is in the people, how can somebody who has not won the election will call you and tell you, come, drop your... That person is already a criminal. Anybody who doesn't win an election and is elected the winner, I can see such a person as a criminal because you have committed a crime. By rigging an election, it's a serious crime. So how can you say that a rigger, somebody who was rigged in, come, let us make peace? Nobody will listen to you because they don't trust you. But if you allow free and fair election, somebody that is very common person wins an election, there's type of joy the people will have. Everybody will say, no, it will be mad, I don't wait to mbo. They will drop their gun, they cannot find the government. But illegality, rigging, frustration, causes frustration on a lot of people. So when I win election, I keep on saying it. My first priority is to make sure that youth are given what they need. They need empowerment. They want to be like people, those who are millionaires. They dream to be millionaires.
Thank you very much.
They need assistance.
Thank you very much. We need to move faster now. In 2 minutes, would you tell me, Anambra State is blessed with human capital, but we face leadership trust deficits. How do you plan to rebuild public confidence in government institutions in the state? In 2 minutes.
And that's why it's good to elect a good leader. And it's somebody I know, I don't praise myself. I know I have fear of God. And I'm a Christian to the core, an evangelist too. So, and once I am doing the right thing, anybody under me will not do the wrong thing. So I assure Anambrarians, if I become the governor of Anambra, corruption will go. Because I will not support corruption. I will declare my assets before I become the governor of Anambra. I don't think anybody will have the courage. Yes. After all, what do I have? What do I have? I have only a house in Tretre, 2-story building. Then I have a land in Abuja, though not developed. Though there's no other thing I have. I've already declared it here. I have just one car, Toyota Corolla. What again do I have? Nothing. My dear, let us start giving leadership to common people. If you give leadership to rich men, they will not take care of the poor. David was a very common person, and God chose him. Joseph was a very common person, and God chose him. God has never chosen a big man to lead the people. That's the mistake we are making. And if you choose a big man, he'll be very, very far from the poor. But if you choose a common person will be at the middle between the poor and the rich. The poor will reach him, the rich will reach him. So let us stop voting all these big men. That is why we are not moving forward.
Okay.
And anybody who has too much money, he doesn't reason before he talks. Yes. He talks irrationally. He talks anyhow. No, but a common person will reason.
I think that is overgeneralization, that the moment someone is, what is the definition of rich? Someone who is not within your class. No, hold on. Someone who is not within your class could look at you and say, wow, he's a big man. He has 2-story building. He has landed property. He has a car. Someone who moves on a two wheels will think this guy is rich, then classifies you as rich. And if he does, that means everything, if I apply your argument, that means everything you are saying will not make sense to him. Because you say that when rich people they don't make sense. So I think that classification probably is too overgeneralized. Oh, okay. Maybe the network or so. Let's see if my guest will come back to this conversation. It's getting interesting. I wanted to move into. Okay, he's back. He's back. He's back. No, no, that's not him. You can unmute yourself now. That's yeah. Unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself and join me back. Please unmute yourself and join me back. The conversation is getting interesting. Kindly unmute yourself, please. Kindly unmute yourself. Mr. Keke, please kindly unmute yourself. Okay. I think your audio is on. What happened?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So now I said we needed to move quickly. Let me come to issue of governance, economy, and development. You are aware, so do I, infrastructure remains a major challenge from bad roads to unreliable power in the state. Before the not too long ago, the states are given the right to now generate their own power. How do you plan to finance, execute infrastructural projects sustainably without overburdening the state, or rather, without so much borrowing, be it from the commercial market or from the international institutions? How do you plan to do that?
Anambra will have a great advantage if I become the governor of Anambra State, because I told you I studied civil engineering, though it's a MD level, and also before I studied geological science and mining. I have knowledge of building roads. When I studied civil engineering in IMT, I emphasized mainly on roads. That was what I did in my project.
Have you built any road before?
As an individual, no, it's not possible. But as a governor, I will. Because if you as an engineer, look at Umahi of Ebonyi State, former governor of Ebonyi. He's an engineer. Yeah. You know what he did.
Yeah, but he was building road before he became a governor.
That's what I'm saying. He has a firm. But I'm just trying to bring you into what I was trying to say. Okay. If you have an experience as an engineer, it will be easier for you to negotiate how to build good roads and also with a good price. It's not wasting funds. And also, you need to develop a maintenance culture. You don't need to wait until the roads are damaged before you start building it. And again, you take care of drainage. One of the causes of poor road network in Anambra State is lack of a good proper drainage. If you're able to channel water very well, as an geologist, I know that. If you're able to channel water very well, water will not disturb the roads. It will last longer. But some people will not believe until they see. Vote for me on November 8th and see how Anambra will be. With little money. That's why I said it's good to vote in somebody who started from nothing to something.
Okay.
Someone who has suffered to become somebody.
You have said that to us several times.
That's what I'm saying. So yes, I can give Anambra better infrastructure if I'm elected as the governor.
Okay, but the question is, how do you plan to finance and execute this project sustainably without overburdening the state? Now, are you saying that your answer to this question is that since you have an idea of how to build road, that the only way you know you can do it sustainably is to probably float a company or get people to, I don't know, you start negotiating better. Is that your point?
With little resources, you can negotiate to build good roads. And again, I will not be interested in having percentages of these governors, so you can save some money to do other things. And you have to build roads that states needs first, not building a double lane when some roads, some single lane are not motorable. You are building double lane.
Okay.
Before you start building double lane, make sure that all the single lanes are okay.
Okay.
You don't need to build double lane now. Fix all the small lanes first. Then, when everywhere in Anambra has gotten single lane working, then go back and start building the double one. Ndị Igbo na go one before I go two.
Okay. So now I think I understand where you're going with your analogy now. But let me put it this way. If I ask you to rate Professor Soludo's performance on road infrastructure and on governance, what will be your rating from 1 to 10? 10 being, excellent, and 1 being poor, as in minus.
Well, I cannot say he didn't try. He tried as a governor and as a professor. But what he did, his base is not good enough for Anambra. We hoped a lot from him. We hoped he could do a lot. And I wonder why Soludo, we both contested. And we moved into government house as a governor. I am very close to Soludo as his brother. From Ezinite, from Isofia. He became the governor. We contested together. He became the governor because I'm in a small party. I couldn't win an election. Couldn't even grant me an opportunity to come. Let us work together as brothers. What I learned is that he went to London, to many places, brought in people who don't even have voters cards for Anambra State, and gave them so many offices.
But you
people
didn't
like
vote
us
for him.
Who are struggling to be in government to help the poor. We are not involved. We are not brought into the government. Is it good? Very unfair. It's very, very unfair. And now that I'm contesting the election, he said that I should pay 50 million just to post a poster. People like us that want to be in government to help the poor, we are not encouraged. We are being discouraged. It's not good. It's not fair. At least, if anybody has interest in being in government, just, okay, look at Tinubu. Tinubu built so many people who made him president today. He built so many people, so many people governor. Encouraged so many people who wanted to be.
No. Even Tinubu, I don't think any opponent accuses Tinubu of not empowering them. So what you're saying is that, I mean, in that case, you shouldn't have, if you had wanted Soludo to empower you, you shouldn't have contested against him. You should have done what the bigger parties do on the eve of the primary or the eve of the election. They make announcements saying, I'm stepping down, please vote for Mr. A, and endorse him. So if you do that, maybe, yes, he might look your way. But if you are sticking to the narrative you created at the beginning, that you have a vision, and that vision can only be actualized in a small party, then it is irrelevant. If he remembers you, or if he goes to London, those he called from London could be those who funded his campaign, could be those who worked for him. Now, but you were his opponent. You were looking for the same thing he was looking. Don't tell me that if you are the one that had won that election, that you would have gone to call him to come and say, work in my government. Or would you have done that if you had won?
Well, that mentality is very poor. At least if it's coming from a professor. In election, you need to contest to the last. If you don't win, then the winner will bring you into the government. If he wants you to be in his government, it's not a must. You will collapse your structure as if you are the owner of the party. Do you think it's that easy? Am I the owner of good party?
No, you have to call your people to a round table.
So it's not a must. It's not a must that should be done. And remember, he's my brother. Okay, now I didn't, and when he won the election, what did he say? He said he's giving olive branches to everybody, every opponent. All of you should come. You know, I wrote a letter. I wrote a letter to Soludo, and I told him I contested the election with you. Please, I am good. I am doing my first inter-house sports, and I need a boss. I need a boss in my school so that I will use it to run my school. That letter was not replied up to today. You know, even if you can't give me a boss, at least he replied the letter and said, okay. I remember I was the first to congratulate Soludo. It's on record. I even called him personally. After the election, I called him. He answered me. And I told him, my brother, big congratulations. He said, yes, thank you very much. I told him, okay, if you are in the government, I will work with you. He said, okay.
Is it a
day before he was sworn in, I called him. He picked my call. I asked him, should I come for the swearing? He said, no, people should not come. We're not going to do it in a bigger way. That was the last he picked my call. After that, he's not picking my call. I sent several messages. It's not replying to my message. You know, it's not good. As a young person like me, who should be encouraged by Soludo, and you remember his brother, Okedoke of his blessed memory. When we were contested, I contested against him as a House of Assembly member. Then I didn't win. As Soludo was aware of that. Now, I went to Okedoke when Soludo, when he was still alive, when Soludo was elected governor. I told Okedoke, please help me to reach out to Soludo. He's no longer picking my call. Okedoke said that he's going to give me number of Ezewanne, former commissioner. And I called Ezewanne severally. He didn't pick my call. Sent the message, he didn't reply. Otu aka esi eme nwanne. A sị na iwe nwanne adị eru n'ọkpụkpụ. You're now telling me that I should not contest against him when he has been in government for more than 3 years. You remember that he's contested with his brother. You can't even tell him, okay, come, let me give you, I don't need his money. I want to be in government to help the poor. I know there are things I will do that Soludo cannot do. I am very close to the masses, more than Soludo. Soludo should have used me to do a very proper and good governance in Anambra, because I'm very close to these people. But he decided to do it with people that came down from London, people who are not living in Anambra State.
So that means
I think he will achieve the best result.
So that means after the election, had Soludo called you and as you said, giving you whatever you wanted, that means you would have abandoned Boot Party and joined APGA. Or how would you have done?
They must abandon Boot Party. I am the state chairman of Boot Party. I will not. Look at Bianca Ojukwu. He's an APGA member. He's working with Tunumbu. People should emulate Tunumbu, even though people are saying he didn't win the election. But you know, the way he does his own politics is even better than the way we both are doing it.
Okay.
You need to embrace people. You need to embrace people.
Thank you.
So what I'm trying to say is that Soludo should remember those who contested against him and bring him into government. If I win, those who don't win, I will bring them in my government. We are going to join hands and govern Anambra together.
Excellent.
Because
I think your network is freezing now. Okay. Like I said, we are we're basically running out of time, and we are still in governance, economics, and development. Once your network stabilizes, we will move. Okay, you're back. Thank you very much. So let's, we are running out of time, and some of my guests are beginning to raise their hands. They want to ask you questions as well. Let me move quickly. Successive administration have promised industrialization. I mean, it has become a cliche. What concrete steps would your administration take to make Anambra truly industrial? In 2 minutes. Is that part of your manifesto? How to make Anambra State an industrial state? Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. It appears you're receiving a call.
Call came. I dropped it. Call. I didn't get your question.
Okay. I would have wished if you put your phone on D&D do not disturb so that it bounces off those calls when they come in so that that doesn't disrupt your train of thought. My question to you is, um, we have had governments that have come in Anambra State, administrations that have promised industrialization. What concrete steps would your administration take to make Anambra truly an industrial state? Are you there? Are you
Okay,
there?
hello. Are you
Yes.
there?
Yes. Is your phone on D&D now? Let me know when you come back. Okay, very quickly. So we would, the moment he takes this question, I have about two more questions to bring to him. Then I'll take the question from the audience, either the online virtual world or those of you that are in this room. So either way, can you quickly take my last question, please? Should I
I
repeat the
am here
question?
with you.
Should I
Yes.
repeat the question? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
You know, in Anambra, we've been talking about industrialization. Now, what concrete steps would your administration take to make Anambra State truly an industrial state? In 2 minutes, please.
Okay, it's very simple. You know, all this is my manifesto. And being the son of the soil who lives in Anambra here for long, I know the areas will be the industries. And these are the areas where the kidnappers are using to do their business, their illegal business. All those areas in Ayala and the Nnewi South. And also some part of Orumba South. Then we have Obaru also, and also we have Anambra West. These are areas, and Anambra is also the areas we're going to build industries. And you know, I'm not going to learn how to do that. You know, I'm an industrialist. And again, it's very simple to do that. And again, Anambra has a lot of importers that go to China to import goods. You know, we're going to bring all those importers together. We have to join together under PPP. We build industries here. We give them enabling environment. All those Chinese, those Oyibo people that build it for them outside, we are going to fund them to bring them down to Anambra State. We give them proper security. That's why, first of all, sanitize the environment. We calm the use down. We give them promises, and we fulfill the promises we are giving them. They will drop their arms. These people will come. We industrialize Anambra State.
So you
You know,
think
we will start building phones. I mean, we'll start constructing phones and the manufacturing phone in Anambra State. We have the land to do that. And also, we have to independent power plants to power all those industries. We will do that. And we have a lot of youth here who will work in those places. And we have the market. We have the Onisha market. We have Onewi. We're going to join hands with Inosin to be producing vehicles. You know, we have a lot of industries already. We're going to revive Ibeto. We know why we're not producing cement, why it was banned. Government will look into it. We revive our industries. You need to have a good governor, not a governor given to you from Abuja. We have to need a governor that elected by the poor masses here, so that I have the power from the people to empower them, not through rigging. And we know what to do. Let youth take over. All these old men are weak and tired. How can you bring in somebody who is retired from government and making the governor of a state? They want you to be sleeping? We need young.
okay. It's a very fine place that just to get to the next question. Obviously, we are rounding up. I would have wished that you stuck to the question and giving me the, steps that you would have taken. Are you there? Hello? Mr. Kek, are you there? Okay. Once he comes back, I believe a call has, interfered with his mobile device. Once he once he comes back, we'll look at value, accountability, vision for Anambra State. In that, we will know much about governance in Anambra State, the issue of political godfatherism, and political patronage. Again, he said that he is from the small party. We would want to know how he intends to maintain his independence and accountability in the administration if given the chance. And that will take us to the long term vision in the state. Okay, so you're back. Quickly, please. Would you mind unmuting? Let's quickly move to the last part of this, the last segment of this, which is value, accountability, vision for Anambra State. Now we talk about political godfatherism and patronage, and we say that these often, you highlighted this also at the beginning of this program, that these also influence governance in the state. How will you maintain your independence and accountability in your administration, knowing that you owe your emergence, if then at all it happens, to the people? In 2 minutes, please.
You say what? I didn't get your question, please.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. So governance in Anambra State is often influenced by political godfather and patronage. How will you maintain your independence and be accountable to the people in your administration? Aside the fact that you tell us that you're a Christian, you're a good man. I mean, one can say that's not enough to say that's going to guide me to do X, Y, Z. So how are you going to deal with that?
I always at the tail end of your question, I will start hearing you. Sorry, just go straight to the point. Let me just hear you now.
Okay, governance, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I say governance in Anambra State is often influenced by political godfatherism and patronage, right? Did you hear that?
Yes. Yes.
Now, how will you maintain your independence and how will you be accountable to the people in your administration?
Well, there's no godfatherism in my party. As I told you, I am the chairman of this party. As a matter of fact, I am the first person to use this party to contest for governor. It's a new party, the youngest party in Nigeria. No fatherism in the good party, because it's a party of tomorrow, because of our tomorrow. Godfatherism is killing democracy in Nigeria. That's why you don't see me moving to them, begging them money to run for this election. So that I don't want somebody to...
Isn't that a one-man show?
No, we have party members. We have we have structures in the state.
Yeah, but you said you are the chairman.
People, graduates who graduated from university.
You said you are the chairman, you are the candidate.
Inclination, eh?
But you said you are the chairman, you are the party chairman, you are at the same time the party candidate.
Yes, in our constitution it is allowed. Even now, yes, even our national chairman can contest for president. It is in our party. It is the constitution. It's in our constitution. So it is allowed. We have a chairman of all the local governments. Even in my village, I have chairman of my party in my village. So we and those people are people that are living here. We want to change the pattern of the governance in the state. I don't know whether somebody who doesn't live in America can be the president of America. It's not possible. You to stop electing people who don't know you, whom you don't know. When they come in with a multitude of soldiers, and you are afraid of them. You can't go to them. How can you complain to them your problem? So godfatherism is not in our party. When I become governor, I will take care of the poor.
Okay. So finally, and that's my last question here, and then I get audience to ask you a question. Finally, what is your long-term vision for Anambra State? Let's take for example, we say by 2030, right? What's your long-term vision? Let's say 2030, 2035, and how do you see the state contributing to the rebirth of the prosperity of the whole Alibo?
What I want Anambra State to get in long time period is a situation where you will see foreigners coming into Anambra State as their second home, bringing in dollars instead of us using our money to chase dollar. Industries everywhere. There will be security everywhere. Our people who have run away will start coming back home. We will live a good life here. No killing, no thuggery, no banditry, no kidnapping. Anambra will be a safe home where the poor are not cheated, where people will be singing glory to God, thanking God for good governance. That's what I want to see in Anambra State. And that cannot be done by all these big men and big parties, but rather small party. Keep on saying it. When God wanted to replace King Saul, he looked for somebody in the bush. Somebody in the bush. When Kish brought out all his sons, God rejected all of them and said, has all of them finished? They said, no, only the small one in the bush. That is Chika talking about. Boot party talking about. God works with something insignificant. That's what God works with. So that at the end of the day, God will receive glory.
Okay.
But all these big men, they don't do anything for us, and we don't want them.
I think I'm beginning to understand when you make the biblical conjuncture, and it seems that you are the David that used catapult to knock down the Goliath. I mean, do you agree with that narrative?
That's what I'm trying to say. We're going to put out all these people.
Exactly. So in your sense, rather than use
and Anambra will be free from all this bondage we are. We are in total bondage in this state.
In this case,
look at how people have been oppressed on the road. You'll be driving on the road, you park to get something to, maybe the pure water, somebody will start dragging your steering and they will start negotiating price. Is it not kidnapping? They will carry you to one side and begin to tell you, pay 50,000. You begin to price it. At the end of the day, you pay 30 or some after having tortured you. No, my dear, we are in bondage here.
Actually, in as much as that was my last question, but now that you've just said something, I looked at my notes. I jotted down here, we have had the issue of touting in Anambra State. And we have Ndia Kodo, the menace they are causing in Anambra State, using touts to collect tax. Do you have any plan, if elected the governor of Anambra State, to use digital form to collect tax? Or do you think you just have to reform the touts, probably wash them and make them whole again and bring them back in the street?
You know, if I were to be in Soludo's government, I wouldn't have advised him to use those touts he's using. You don't need to disturb traders in the state. You make money from traders. Why are you disturbing them? Allow them so that more traders will come in. Look at how the touts are making some people to leave our Anambra. Most of them are living in Asaba now. You know, and again, overtaxation is not good. You collect tax once from a trader in a year and leave him to do his business. But you pay tax today, tomorrow you'll come and say it has increased. And again, you should allow the market traders to appoint their leaders. You don't need to impose leaders on people. It is a crime. Allow people to choose their leader. We're running democracy, for goodness sake. And you are tormenting people, telling them, if you don't do this, we'll remove you. Is that leadership? So when I become the governor, and no youth were allowed to be a tout. Nobody was born.
So how would you then collect?
I want to be a tout. You need to empower them.
How would you collect tax then if you're not going to hand
Now,
them?
when you have a leader, when you have market leaders, use their market leaders to collect tax. To be orderly, or you use electronic means. You know, there are so many ways to do that. Paying direct, and if you don't pay, then the government will use government instrument, because every trader has a shop. You register all of them. If you don't pay, it will be seen in the system that you have not paid. Government knows where you live. Government knows where you do your business. You gently go and get the person arrested. If you want to arrest the person, prosecute him. If you prosecute one or two or three people, others will start doing what is right.
Okay.
Not using people to start dragging people. No, my dear, it's not good to be done by a professor.
Thank you very much.
On people. Accord is not even good to you. Be used of human being on animal. Talking of human being.
Thank you very much, Okeke Chika Jerry. That's a very fine place to anchor this conversation. It's my pleasure having you, and hope one of my guests here, if you are still willing to ask a question because you raised your hand. Okay, Hope, go ahead with your question.
Hello, good evening. Will I say, Mr. Okeke? It's quite interesting to see someone of your age coming into contest. My question will be, because you didn't answer that question, how are you going to fund all these things you're saying? And final one, mentioning old men. I think you have problem with those old men. Old men. They've gone when it comes to governance. You've got nothing to do with those who have governed the state before or those who are currently governed. Your manifesto should be what you and your party is going to do for Anambra State to better the youths, not just the youth. Remember, we have the elderly ones, the market ones. And then how are you going to bring in the private sector? Because that is an arm that is very, very vital when it comes to industrialization of a state. How will you generate the funds in order to pay what you said, in your own opinion, the living wage for Anambarians who are civil servants? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that question. So can you respond, please?
Yes, I will respond. Let me tell you, if you look at Oti of Abia, Oti came from a private sector and is doing very well in Abia. When Peter B was the governor of Anambra State, he came from a private sector and he did very well.
And your governor now comes from a private sector too.
Who?
Your governor now was a consultant. He comes from a private sector.
No. He's Homa Central Bank is a public sector. They came from a public sector. Obiara came from a public sector. You know, somebody like me, I've never worked for government before. I have been I've been working on my own. I have my own firm. I'm running my firm, paying workers, raising money.
You're an entrepreneur.
Sorry. Somebody like me will be the best governor of Anambra State elected. And I'm also a younger person too.
You know, so that you don't lose track. Governor Obiano was a star of Fidelity Bank, eventually retired. So that was the private sector. Alex Oti,
that's a public sector. He worked in the bank. He was receiving salary. I'm talking about those who are receiving salaries.
Yeah, but Alex Oti was receiving salary too.
As a lecturer, receiving salaries.
Your argument, no, Alex Oti was Diamond Bank. So our Alex Oti, I mean, to your own argument, that's what I'm saying. So you compare like for like. If you're saying Oti came from the bank, former governor of Anambra State came from the bank, current governor of Anambra State is from the central bank, eventually a consultant. So, put that into perspective so that we don't, argue against one another here.
Okay. Whatever be the case, what I'm trying to say is this. Somebody like me who hustled to become what I am today. In Anambra now, where people need somebody who will take them away from poverty, you will go for somebody who has been a poor person and was able to come out of it. That's the type of leader you need. Now, when I come on board, I don't need to learn how to do those things because I did it when I had nothing. But now that I have the resources to do that, I will use it to help the people. And I've been generating money to run my business. When Ngige was the governor of Anambra, well, that was when I was starting my publishing company. I wrote him, please, I need money to run my business. Ngige wrote me back and said, Anambra State had no money, that I should wait until the economy of the state improved. And the economy never improved because he didn't write me back. And I wasn't discouraged. I continued working hard till today. And I have made it to an extent. Now, if I wasn't discouraged by that statement, by that letter I received from government, now I was able to stand on my own. My dear, I can make a lot of Anambrarians to stand on their own. That's the type of person you should vote for a governor. And I have the strength to do it. And I don't have any person to fear, so that I can go to any village, anywhere in Anambra, feel free to do whatever I want to do for the people. Not sending people on a run. Go to Anam and check for me whether that land is good for this. No, I know where those lands are. I will go there myself and see it. This is the type of person you need in Anambra. Let's stop collecting money from these money bags who have come to do business. That's what I'm trying to say. Forget about how we're going to make the money. It's very easy. When there is a sanitized system, you will see investors, they will come in. They start paying tax. And the money will start coming. We're going to invest in agriculture. Even if we borrow to invest in agriculture, it can pay you back within 6 months or 1 year. Agriculture can give you money, a lot of money. Okay. And the agriculture can employ so many youths. It can give youth employment. I've been a farmer in the village. I was raised as a farmer. My father was in the village. We were feeding from our farms. I can't remember when my father went to market to buy yam. No, you want to eat yam, we go to the backyard and they uproot one and eat. We were producing food. When we were in primary school, we have our farms, our ridges. So we can make money through farming. All these big men, they don't go to farm. That's why so many of our farms have overgrown with weeds and bushes, and kidnappers are now hiding there. So if I become the governor, we clear those bushes and start planting foods for people.
Thank you very much for that. We have one more question from one of our guests here. That's Ndubisi. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. And thank you, Mr. Okeke. Yeah. I just love your passion as a person. We need people like you. You are the professor of the street.
Thank you.
At least you have experience. It's not all about classroom, and it's not about speaking big grammar. It's about having the passion, having the interests of the people at heart. However, what I want to ask you is that election is already there. It's just 6 days from today. I want to know what should be a plan after Saturday. Should, if you didn't make the election, as in becoming the governor of Anambra State, would you continue with your advocacy for good governance? Would you continue engaging the government? Would you continue calling out government to do their campaign promises? And finally, I'm not wishing you bad luck. Of course, it's possible that you can still win. But I want to take that side. What will be your plan after Saturday election? Thank you.
Okay.
I've been working hard to be the governor of Anambra State since 2013. And I have not rested, and I will not rest until I become the governor of Anambra State. That's my answer to that question.
Okay. Thank you very much. So the next person is Festus Udechukwu, please. Please unmute.
Thank you very much, my brother. And The honorable that wants to contest is good listening to you. I've been hearing you now, or listening to you for almost 1 hour or thereabout. And yes, you are still being very sincere, because there are some people that will not even begin to disclose that they wrote to the incumbent governor, they asked him for this or for that, so that it will not be as if there's anything you are struggling for and all that. So it's good that you are being sincere to just tell us how it is and all that. But you keep on maturing and maturing until you start entering into. Nobody is going to push you into a big party. No Anambra person, people will not be the one that will choose the party you want to go into. That and you can also get posts and all that. So it's not because of the big party that will make you change who you are, your kind of person and all that. Because none of those cabal, according to what we call them, will begin to now be the one that will hold anything on your neck to say until you do like this. If you are a good person, you are a good person. I think parties are just platforms to now come up to do and express yourself more, better. And the more you make yourself available in the bigger parties and you sellable and they buy you, I think it will be good. For this particular election, like our brother said, the last week I said, you can still win. But one thing I want to commend you is just, being that's sincere to tell us all that you have told us. So thank you very much.
Okay, so that
Thank
was
you. You're welcome.
that was a words of documentation. Thank you very much, Festus. Ansemo Udechukwu, please, quickly, just 1 minute. Go ahead. Udowele, sorry.
All right, thank you very much, Udowele from South Africa. Thank the honorable member for his interest in the upcoming Anambra governorship election, and it's real to see people like him to summon the courage which he did to contest, knowing the terrain that we are facing today in the east and in Anambra, to be precise. Nevertheless, I would like to ask just 1 or 2 questions.
Just one, please.
Because it won't be just for him alone to answer. Other people who are also contesting for this election will have it in mind that this is a question that must be answered and there must be a solution to it. First and foremost, I would like to say that there is no economy that survives with reckless taxation, more especially on the poor masses, those of the medium entrepreneurs. And I don't know what he will be able to do to cushion the effect of taxes on our poor, suffering young people who finish school and end up driving keke or hiring buses to drive. The government who did not provide those buses for them are the ones taxing them. The government which could not provide roads for them to drive the car safely are the ones still taxing them. So I would like to know what he will be able to do about it. And for industry to grow, we need a stable power supply. There is no nation in the world that survives without stable power supply. What can be done to stabilize the supply of energy to be able to help the industry to strive? That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I said it before, independent power plants is in my manifesto. And there is a River Niger close to our state. Can use turbine also to generate electricity for Anambra State. If we look into that very well, we can do that. There must be power, steady power supply for Anambra. Then the issue of taxation. When I said it before, that I will empower the youth. I cannot empower the youth and begin to ask them to pay money. I said 1 million every month. I will budget 1 billion for the youth. Then I'll be giving each youth 1 million. those who have a business, genuine business they're doing, and we give them a supervisor that will follow them to ensure that they are using that money very well. And they will go industrial park where they'll be given a place where a shop or office where they will be staying. 1 year they will not pay. They will not pay house rent. After 1 year, they will now start paying tax, paying house rent. By then they have become millionaires. I can't collect any tax from anybody who is not a millionaire in Anambra. I can never do that because I passed through hardship. I know what it cost me when I was a poor person. I know what I passed through. So I cannot suffer a poor person. I will not.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Okeke. That means you have had it all. The decision is yours. Next week, Saturday, I believe that's the 8th of November, will be the Anambra Decide. We have brought you to today. It's there for you to make the choice. His party is the Boot Party. If you think he has what it takes to become your governor, it's time for you to vote for him. On this note, I say once more, thank you very much for being my guest on this town hall series, Meet Your Candidate. Thank you very much and good night from this side. Thank you.